Good evening. We begin tonight with the breaking news on the war in Iran. The war widening tonight. The Pentagon saying we're just getting started and striking deeper into Iran. And tonight, a U.S. submarine sinking an Iranian warship. Tonight, the Pentagon releasing extraordinary images showing a U.S. fast attack submarine. For the first time since World War II, firing a torpedo to sink an Iranian warship. 180 on board, sinking in the Indian Ocean. At least 32 Iranian sailors rescued. Tonight, U.S. Central Command reporting more than 20 Iranian ships have been struck or sunk. Iran's retaliation across the region, drawing more than a dozen nations into this conflict. A UK fighter jet shooting down an Iranian drone over Jordan. NATO intercepting a missile over Syria headed for Turkey. An image showing a man standing near an unexploded missile near the airport in northeastern Syria. More explosions reported in Tehran. Meanwhile, Secretary Pete Hegseth revealing the mastermind behind the 2024 plot to assassinate Donald Trump has been killed. And tonight we're learning more about the Army reservists killed during an Iranian attack in Kuwait. The Americans. Sergeant First Class Nicola Moore was just days away from returning home to her husband and 2 children. 20-year-old Sergeant Declan Cody described as the rock of his family. Tonight, his sister right here describing the moment the doorbell rang. ABC's chief foreign correspondent Ian Pannell leading us off from the region again tonight.
Tonight, the war with Iran rapidly expanding. For the first time since World War II, the US Navy sinking an enemy ship with a torpedo fired from a fast attack submarine. Extraordinary video from the periscope of that American sub showing the massive explosion before the Iranian warship with 180 people on board sank to the bottom of the Indian Ocean.
America is winning. Decisively, devastatingly, and without mercy.
The torpedo attack happened off the coast of Sri Lanka. Authorities there recovering dozens of bodies, saying only 32 people were rescued. That ship, one of at least 20 Iranian Navy vessels, the US says it's destroyed. Tonight, the Trump administration claiming US and Israeli forces control the sea and the skies over Iran. President Trump saying the U.S. is in a very strong position.
We're in very good shape now. I want to let you know that, and we will continue forward. But it's a great display of military strength.
The Pentagon saying there are now more than 50,000 troops in the Middle East, with more on the way. The U.S. now set to strike deeper into Iranian territory.
More and larger waves are coming. We are just getting started. We are accelerating, not decelerating. Iran's capabilities are evaporating by the hour, while American strength grows fiercer, smarter, and utterly dominant.
With officials revealing the current operation has delivered twice the air power of the shock and awe campaign of Iraq in 2003. Tonight, the Pentagon downplaying concerns U.S. missile stockpiles could run low if the war drags on.
We have sufficient precision munitions for the task at hand, both on the offense and defense. I appreciate the interest, but just know that we consider that an operational security matter.
There are also questions tonight about the number of U.S. interceptors across the Middle East being used by multiple countries to try to block these Iranian missiles and drones. Will the interceptors last? Because military officials say it takes 2 or 3 of them to shoot down just one Iranian ballistic missile. And experts predict Iran had a stockpile of more than 2,000. Tonight, Iran launching a new wave of strikes across the Gulf. A UK fighter jet shooting down an Iranian drone over Jordan. NATO saying it intercepted an Iranian ballistic missile over Syria that was heading for Turkey, as images emerge of an Iranian missile that slammed into a Syrian field. But US and Israeli officials say the Iranian attacks have slowed down. And from inside Iran, a harrowing account from a young anti-government activist in Tehran, bravely speaking out. We're not naming her to protect her identity.
It is very, very dangerous outside. Everybody from the regime has the gun. Most of them are very ugly and furious, and they have free will to shoot everybody. They don't think about anything.
She says people are happy the supreme leader's dead, but worried the war will stop before the regime is gone. The Red Crescent reporting over 1,000 deaths, with Iranian officials expected to elect a new supreme leader. One potential candidate, Ayatollah Khamenei's own son, Mujtaba, a hardliner likely to stick to his father's legacy, according to Iranian officials familiar with the deliberations. Israel's defense minister warning if Iran's new leader followed the same path as Khamenei, he would become an unequivocal target for elimination. Tonight, the US confirming the Iranian Revolutionary Guard commander, identified as the mastermind behind the 2024 plot to assassinate President Trump, has also been killed.
The leader of the unit who attempted to assassinate President Trump has been hunted down and killed. Iran tried to kill President Trump, and President Trump got the last laugh.
And so let's bring in Ian Pannell with us live from Tel Aviv again tonight. And Ian, we've taken viewers here on these U.S. submarines before. We were on the USS Florida in the Eastern Mediterranean as it prepared for a highly classified mission. At the time, we saw the extraordinary firepower these submarines have, those torpedoes on board. We've not seen a deadly torpedo attack since 1945. The Pentagon tonight saying it was a Mark 48 torpedo they fired at that Iranian warship.
Yeah, that's right, David. The Pentagon saying it was the same type of torpedo that you saw and used with devastating firepower. So many Iranian sailors killed in that attack. And I think it shows the lengths to which the US is prepared to go to crush Iran's military capabilities. David?
Ian Pannell leading us off here again tonight. Ian, thank you.